Hello there and welcome. Today we are going to be installing this USB kit from Hitchcock's motorcycles, which attaches USB to near the handlebars. You can see on the website here it is part number 92053 for the Super Meteor and shotgun. You get a bracket to attach to your tripper unit and then a dual USB socket. And then that plugs into the accessory plug in the back of your headlight. So we can see here, if you're outside the UK, it's 39.50, but 47.40 in the UK. We've got some instructions here. We've got the metal bracket, and then we got the unit with the wiring itself, and two new Allen screws to replace the ones in the current tripper unit, as you need to account for the metal bracket. Believe the Allen key that you need is a 2.5mm one that I used, and the only other thing you need is a screwdriver. But it's simple enough to do, having looked at the instructions. So yeah, here we are. You'll need a 2.5mm Allen key and a Phillips, crosshead, posi, whatever you want to call it, screwdriver to take out two screws from the headlight unit to get it out. There's two on the tripper, two Allen keys on the tripper, so there's four in total, but I'm going to have to take some more off because I've got the screen in the way. So this screen is held on with four 2.5mm Allen bolts. It's quite dirty in there, so I'll give it a clean once I get in there, but there is no way you're doing it with the screen on. It's not very long to take the screen off, so we're going to do that now to make it a lot easier. So just removing the last one here. Yeah, that was easy enough to do. You just got to remember that there's some little bushings in there, not to lose metal bushings, and some rubber grommets. It's definitely, you'll need to take this off because there's no way you're getting an Allen key in there because of the angle of the headlight here. And the tripper, it's even hard with this off to get a small Allen key in. So here are the two Allen screws that you need to take out. They've been mushed by the person that put them in, because again it's a hard job to get in there even with nothing on. If you didn't have the brackets for the windscreen, it would be a bit easier because you'd get more of a swing in there and you could come in from the other side and not have the headlight unit itself in the way, stopping you taking it out. So here you are. You can see the size difference between the old black Allen screws and the new ones, and this is a smaller Allen key I'm using for this part just to make it possible to swing in there. Once you've got it loosened a few turns, you can use your hand to get it out there, so it saves a bit of time and frustration of swinging an Allen key and trying to avoid scratching your lovely black headlight. So there we can see the tripper unit is now loose. We just got to put the metal bracket now on the back of the tripper unit itself here, and then reattach everything together. So we've got to assemble a bit here now. We've got to attach the USB bit to the bracket itself, and then install this bracket like this so that it goes on. And this is the unit itself made up. You've got the USB sockets in a barrel. They screw into there nice and tight with that I don't know, rubber nut, plastic nut, sorry. And then you've got the bracket itself, a nice quality metal item there, purpose built to fit on the back of the tripper unit. And the wiring is all done for you. It has two USB sockets in there, 2.1 amps, 5 volts. It's going to add much more useful USB than the ridiculous location it is at the moment. And here is the accessory plug to go into the back of the headlight. So it's rather a sleek little unit. It costs quite a bit, but it's going to be worth it. So here we are. I've attached the USB to the tripper unit. Like I say, it's fun with the windshield mounting brackets in the way. If you didn't have those, it'd be a lot easier to be able to turn your Allen key. Well, it's in, it looks nice. There's just enough room in there with the windscreen on. So yeah, it's usable for both those who have the windscreen and those that don't. So there we are, it's next to the trip unit, quite small, looks quite neat. Nice little OEM job. If you didn't want one showing, Ride with T, formerly Teach T in Thailand, has installed the one for the Meteor, which sits under the handlebars, I believe on the left hand side, and is kind of a hidden one, but still utilises the same accessory plug in the back of the headlight unit. So check out his video if you'd like to install that version. So here we have a screw either side to take out, and then your headlight will pop out. Just, don't touch the one, there is one underneath, don't touch that one, that adjusts the aim of your headlight. You're just taking the two out at the bottom on either side. So here we are, it's going to come out now. It's got a little tab there so it doesn't fall out when you take the screws out. We've just got to unplug it now from this plug here, which we shall do. So this is the headlight unit itself, rather sleek little kit, nice looking thing. We'll give it a clean up while it's off, but this isn't what we are attaching to. We still got to take, there's a plastic cowling off and all the wiring sits behind that. There's actually quite a lot of wiring goes behind the headlight, as we shall see in a minute. But there's not much to it. Here we go now. Here we are, this plastic cowling has to come off and there's lots of wiring behind there. There's one Allen bolt in the middle which is the same size as the others. So here's the plastic shield come off, and here is the massive wiring in the back of your headlight unit, but this is the plug we want. It's a red one with a little black cover over it, to which this will plug into your USB kit. So we then got to feed it through. There's two holes in the back. We're going to feed it through one of those. I found the right hand side one to be the easiest to get it through. So we've got the cap off and we're just going to connect them up. And then we shall have the fun of reassembling it all. So yeah, here we are. The right hand side is much easier, I found, to feed it through because there's the angle and there's more coming through the left than the right. So here we are, I've reassembled it and I'm just going to see if it works before I re-screw it all up. I can now confirm that it does work, whether it's in the on position or whether the ignition has started, so that's good. So we'll just go now and reassemble this by re-screwing it all and tidying it up. So I screwed back in the cowling, put in the headlight unit, and we're just going to test that works now. So the light is working, the flasher is working, and the main beam is working. So that is a good sign as well. So we shall go ahead now and finish up by reinstalling the windscreen, and we'll talk about how it is. So as you can see here, there's not much room with the windshield bracket, but you can do it. Two USB sockets with a little waterproof cover. So here we are, the windshield is back on. I would say if you're doing this without filming, it's probably a 20-minute, half-hour job. Not many tools, quite easy to do. With the windshield on, you've got to take that off, and it's not a hard job, just got to account for it, and then it slows down taking out the Allen bolts from the back of the tripper unit because the bracket is in the way of the ideal position to undo them. But yeah, it's a sleek little unit, looks OEM, not intrusive, but it's going to give much more usable USB for things. So there we go, the Hitchcock's Motorcycles USB adapter, very good value for money, I'd say.